Hello friends, how are you today? We are here to talk spiritual warfare, dark world light work, the multimedia experience, and how it all comes together. All right, so if you have been following along, you will know that in my book, Dark World Light Work, which is not the biggest part, but a very big part of the multimedia experience, I talk about how I ended up being homeless in a car for 5 years. And the long story short is that I was locked out of my house by a real estate agent one day, and instead of any other option, I chose to just get in my car and leave town. I left Las Vegas, Nevada, and came to Southern California, to the coolest town that I could find, and that was Huntington Beach, California. Part of the reason that I was so eager to just leave was because I felt impending doom coming in the situation in my life, in that place with my family, with the whole thing. And I felt death coming. And because I had a near-death experience, which I also tell about in the book, of several years prior, I know the feeling of death. Anyone who's ever even poeticized it and talked about like hearing the four horsemen of the apocalypse, if you know, you know. People who can pick up that type of energy, who have dealt in that type of energy, who have touched, kissed, tasted of that kind of energy, know what I'm talking about. And so I left. I had to go. And I was gone for, I think, 7 months. And when I came back, someone, in fact, was brutally murdered in my family. And I always was of the feeling that there was a tremendous amount of negative energy sent towards my family at that time. It was coming from within the family, and it was also coming from the outside. And it was directed at all of us, and it was heinous, obviously heinous enough for it to result in someone being murdered. Not just one someone, actually, 2 someones ended up being murdered by the time I came back 5 years later. And so when I did come back 5 years later, I was very happy that I missed that and somehow felt like that energy was perhaps meant for me. Then I know that there are outside sources outside of my family that are more institutional, that also transmit that kind of energy. They do it through energetic manipulation, and they also do it through MK Ultra brainwashing on the television. And so, which brings me to my last video, which is called Spiritual Warfare. In that video, I talk about how that kind of energy can get sent to a person. And if you're a person like me, I feel it because I got a ding on my forehead. And I also mention the injury to Clementine's eye. I mentioned that in those videos. And this morning, as I am getting dressed, it all came together for me. Every time I look at this thing on my forehead, I think of it as a bullet hole. It looks like I just got shot right in the head. And I think about that all the time. And then that got me thinking of Clementine's eye. She has an injury to her eye, and the whole color is blown out, like a shot to the head. And the person in my family who was murdered was shot. And for me, whoever sent that energy wanted it to be me. They wanted one bullet in my head right here, and then one in the eye of my little dog. And they missed the mark. So that's the end of the story for who sent that energy to me. You missed the mark, and that is the last mission you will fail. And that's why it's the last mission, because you failed. Thank you. God bless you. And this story is a really good example of how there are some very, very serious themes in the book. I'm a very lighthearted person, and I have transmuted all this very dark energy as well and as graciously or as I can. But it is very, very dark stuff. And there are a lot of people who took this situation very lightly, or felt that their participation in it was light because their intentions were pure. And I just want everybody, the bad guys and the good guys and the in-betweens, to know that this is not a joke. It's very serious. And the real life consequences for what you have done are very serious as well. And for anybody who finds these videos and sort of is disarmed by my personality, and then maybe you do read the book or hear the whole story and you're horrified and shocked, that is called light work. Hey! So I succeeded, stayed right on brand, and there you go in the end. Bada bing. Cha-ching.